Peace, peace. What's going on, fam? It's your brother Naheem, BKA Lord Abba, AKA Mr. Just the Facts. Make sure y'all hit that like button, fam. Share the video out. Share the video out. We're gonna have a brief conversation about this push that one individual is, she's pushing for reparations, basically. This white woman. I'm gonna pull all of that stuff up in a few minutes. Hit that share button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscription icon, fam. Hit that little bell icon next to it so that you can become a part of the notification nation and get alerted every time myself and the brothers at BTP go live. Freedmen first, family. Peace. We got more coming. 42 in the building. We got Brother Cato in the building. Let me see. More coming. Let me pull this comment up first. More coming. 42 said, peace. It's looking dire, fam. Now it's 54% of the Afghans have college degrees and were professionals in Afghanistan. Jeesh. If you got a link to that, more coming. Can you, because you can't put it in the live chat, can you send it to btplivecast@gmail.com? That's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. So share the video out, family. Let people know we having this conversation. This is crazy. We have, hold on, fam. Yeah, I'm trying to get this article right now pulled up about Atlanta that was written in the New York Times that says that Atlanta is no longer a black majority city. I'm like, hold up, where's that coming from? Where's that coming from? That don't make no sense to us. Atlanta is no longer a black majority city. At first, I was like, no way. The brother Ali started reading from the article, and I'm like, oh, hold up. Okay, matter of fact, I got a different link to it. Let's before we get into that, let's pull this up first. So this article was published it was published August 26, 2021, updated August 29th of 2021. Let me blow this up a little bit and share it with the fam. But y'all know how we do. We put the links in the chat so that our family can pull this information up and read it for themselves. So let's share this screen. We got to talk about what's going on. We got to talk about this thing. And we got to keep it at the forefront because we're being replaced. It's just we are being, like my brother Logic said earlier, we are being swapped out. Census. No more black majority in Atlanta. An AJC analysis shows a 47% black population in 2020. Okay, so let's get to reading this, family. Atlanta's African American majority went away in the last 10 years, according to new census data analyzed by the AGC. That's the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. The new census data does show that African Americans are still the largest ethnic group in Atlanta, but they dropped below 50% in the 2020 census. In 2019, the U.S. Census reported that 51% of Atlanta's residents were black. However, the new data shows that number dropped to 47% in 2020. See, this is when you start factoring in homicides and all of the, I wonder how much of that factors in, along with the influx of immigrants that are being imported. They're being imported. These Republicans act like they're fighting against immigration, but these are the same people that they hire to cut their grass and trim their hedges. Make no mistake about it. The article continues. This shift has taken place as historically black neighborhoods have drawn new money and new residents. The AJC analysis said Atlanta's population grew by more than 71,000 since 2010. New white residents accounted for just over 50% of them. So whenever we see new white residents in black neighborhoods, the first words that come to mind is gentrification. This is the first thing that pops in your mind, gentrification. Of course it is. 23% were Hispanic or Asian. Only 9% of the city's new residents were African American. And when they say African American, are they disaggregating blackness, or is disaggregated blackness that they're speaking about when they say African American? This is why we have to challenge these racial classification systems here in the United States of America. We have to. It is central and as pivotal a fight as capping immigration and our base reparations itself. City Councilman Michael Bond, an African American, said that the shift away from a black majority will do no harm. I think Atlanta has grown up internationally, Bond said. That is a goal I think leadership in Atlanta has had for a long time, not to displace African Americans' political power, but to increase the diversity of the city. I think it's a good thing ultimately. I would love to speak to Michael Bond and show him how New York turned out. Let me tell y'all, fam, let me pause for a minute. Well, I'll read this. This is the last sentence. I think this is the last sentence. It is the last sentence. It says, Bond thinks voters in the city have started to look beyond race in choosing candidates to run the city, something voters will do again this November. So y'all already see what it is. We got Ali. Ali is in the building. Peace, Bond Dog D. I see you. Who else we got up in the building? All right, so we got BTP Ali in the building. Let me give a breakdown real quick of, let's close this out. I put that link in the chat for those of you who are just joining. Again, let's read the headline to this. Let me scroll back up. This headline reads, Census, no more black majority in Atlanta. Yeah, bro. So I want you to come in, Ali, but I want to touch on what New York, and you can speak to some of that as well. Whereas New York has been taken over by immigrants. The people of New York City, the blacks of New York City, were largely freedmen of origins, right? Because many people do not know about the large slave labor camps, aka plantations, that were in places like Brooklyn. People don't know about that. New York, what's now New York City and its 5 boroughs, had rampant slavery. So there's a lineage that's in New York that traces back to slavery in New York. And we wanted to get to that last year, but we never did. We was gonna go like city by city, right? So, but the second leg of blacks in New York City are freedmen who have migrated, forced out, and migrated from the South. Peace, Sister Shanna. Peace, Menes Aptara, if I'm saying that correctly. Right? So if you pull up, you download the 2 most popular radio stations in New York City, if you download their apps and listen to the live streams, that's Hot 97 and Power 105.1. I want you all to listen to the commercials. This is an experiment. Don't keep the app on your phone. If you know iHeartRadio and I don't know if Hot 97 has come under the banner of iHeartRadio. I can't recall at this moment. But I want you to listen to the commercials. Listen to the commercials. You're going to hear Spanish, Jewish, white. Rarely do you hear any Freedmen commercials. Rarely. I want you to then, if you're not from the Atlanta area, download 103.1 in Atlanta. I want to get the radio station right. 103.3 in Atlanta. That's the number one radio station out here, right? And I want y'all to listen to the commercials. All of the Atlanta radio stations are basically going to have the same commercials. But I want you to listen to how the commercials are Freedmen. Car accident commercials, like they got full-blown Southern hip-hop accident commercials. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, this is kind of fire. Well, let me listen to the radio station in New York. And all I hear is Spanish people and Jews and white folk and no Freedmen at all. And West Indians, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, where are we at? If we don't get our politics together, Atlanta, because it is, as the article said, becoming international, Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson Airport is one of, if I'm not mistaken, the largest international airport in the United States of America. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I wanted to start off with reading that first. And then we're going to get into this Afghani reparations thing. Brother Ali, you got anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, I think that when you're listening to the radio stations in New York, like the two you mentioned, Power 105 and Hot 97, they used to be black targeted.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think they went from black targeted to minority targeted and more so Latino, right? If you want to hear Freedmen or black commercials of any sort, you're gonna have to go to WBLS 107.5. And I think there's another station that's targeted towards blacks, black Americans particularly, because that's the kind of music they're really playing. It's old school. I think it's 103.5, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's 103.5. So you have 103.5 and you have 107.5. Uh, Somebody could correct me if they know if they know the 103, because I don't listen to the radio anymore, but I know that they play old school R&B and so those two stations are targeting black people, whereas Hot 97 Power 105 used to target blacks, but now not anymore. Um, and so that's the situation with that, and just to the point of the black population in this country. I mean, in New York City, absolutely. You have, like we mentioned before on other programs, back in the colonial era before the British, when you had New Amsterdam, right? New York used to be called New Amsterdam. You had African enslavement in the colony of New Amsterdam. Uh, so that goes back here. So all of the black people in New York may not necessarily be uh, particularly of the South. I'm sure there's, a lot of them do have Southern ancestry as well. But then you could very easily find black people in New York whose slave lineage goes back to New York and not the Southern Confederate states or the Southern states, slave states or what have you. So I just wanted to say that, and I want to talk about, when you're ready, how New York and you know, and then ultimately we'll see what happens with Atlanta. But New York definitely, the immigration of all of these different groups does not help Black Americans, and we can, you know, we can go into that.
Indeed, indeed. So we got this cat in the chat, Trey Lincoln, says, why y'all mad at the Democrats? Y'all supported the Democratic Party. Neither party cares about us. See, this is like, I don't know who this person is, obviously. We can't see
Well,
their face.
let them come on, man. Let them come
Yeah,
on. Let's
if
talk.
you want to
Mhm.
come on, Trey Lincoln,
Talk to them.
I'll put the link in the chat. And only thing you would have to do is just, pull the videos up where we supported the Democratic Party. That's all you got to do. Just say
Right.
just say you'll come on, and I'll put the link in the chat.
I would like for him to explain to us, like, where did we support the Democratic Party?
Yeah, that's all you got to do. Just pull the video, some timestamps. We'll give you a fair chance. We'll give you a fair chance. So let's get into the meat of this discussion, man. Let's play this video. This peace activist by the name of Kathy Kelly, who is pushing for reparations on Afghanistan, or for,
Mm,
excuse me, Afghanis, right?
mm,
I keyworded Kathy Kelly, reparations, African Americans. Nothing came up. Nothing. Only thing that I
mm,
found with her name with reparations was articles dating back to June about Afghans. Now, I'm not saying no article exists. There's a possibility that there does, but I scrolled through the first set of results. Then all the way at the bottom, we almost never click. Google gives you one set of results, then two, then three, then four. I clicked on two. I scrolled through all of those. Nothing on reparations for African Americans at all. So I'm like, okay, what's happening is this term that has been popularized by boots on the ground folks that were, you know, pushing this to presidential candidates, the Freedmen, they the term got popularized. So we hear AOC mentioning it. We hear a bunch of people using the term reparations in a way to, one, in my opinion, politicize it, and two, to water it down. It's, in my opinion, it's calculated.
mm-hmm.
Peace, brother. BTP Cory in the building. Golden Panthero is in the building. Trey Lincoln said, "Brother, I watch y'all all the time. I'm driving. Love the show." And then I don't really understand understand your comment. Oh, unless you was okay. All right, I see what you're saying. You wasn't talking about us. Okay, you just meant black people in general, because we definitely don't support no Democratic Party over here. We don't support no Republican Party over here. Not over here. No, no, no. Okay, so let's play this video. This is, I've learned to not, um, I've learned to not let some of this stuff anger me. Really, over the past year, I've really honed in on the calming factors that we need to get through this life as freemen. And I'm a little older now, so naturally I can bring myself to that place, but it still bothers you. It still bothers you greatly. So let's listen to this white woman talk about reparations for Afghanis.
Uh, do you feel that the American people will draw the best lessons from this terrible situation in Afghanistan, this clear defeat for the United States and its occupation, after we've seen now for 70 years U.S. military force exercised in these occupations, from Korea to Vietnam to Libya to the Balkans is the only thing that the U.S. can sort of claim as a victory. There have been disaster after disaster, and now Afghanistan. What lesson would you hope our population would learn from these terrible occupations?
Well, you know, I think the words of Abraham Heschel applies. Some are to blame, all are accountable. I think everybody in the United States and in every country that has invaded and occupied Afghanistan ought to make reparations and really earnestly seek that, not only financial reparations for the terrible destruction caused, but also to address the systems that you've just mentioned played out in country after country, the systems of warfare that ought to be set aside and dismantled. This is the lesson that I think US people need to learn. But, you know, there was more coverage in the last 2 weeks by mainstream media of Afghanistan than there had been in the past 20 years. And so people are underserved by the media in terms of understanding the consequences of our wars.
So
you are not in the business, Kathy, of complimenting U.S. presidents when it comes to war. And this was one.
Let's end that. So Ali, what was your take on what she said insofar as reparations for the Afghanis?
Well, my take would be to ask her the same question that everybody asks Black people when he's talking about reparations. Who's going to pay for it? Where's the money going to come from? What's going to happen to the economy if you do that? What about the deficit? What about, you know, I mean, come on. Like, listen, I don't understand why these people pretend to be ignorant. Pretend to be ignorant when it comes to the things that have gone on right here at home with your own citizens. Meanwhile, a country that was getting foreign aid from this country already, a country that billions of dollars in equipment and all kinds of other things were left there by the United States. They need reparation. The same people who are being allowed to migrate into this country, they need reparations. They need reparations. But when Black Americans talk about it, well, who's going to get the money? Who's going to pay for it? You weren't a slave. No, my people didn't enslave your people. So now we can understand how the government is responsible for something. She understands how the government can be held responsible for something for the Afghans, but not for Black Americans who had to deal with Jim Crow and all of these other different things right in your face. Lost billions of dollars in wealth during the housing crisis. But these people don't understand when it comes to us how the government should be responsible for protecting our particular class of people. I think they're retarded, man. That's my thoughts on it. They're retarded. I don't know any other kind of way to say
it. Sister Shannon said, we demand a study for them, then let them wait 30 years for a possible review.
That's right, Shannon.
You know, as you listen to that, the guy starts off by naming several different countries that the United States of America has basically invaded and occupied. But her focus is on, I think he was intentionally framing his point that, well, America should then pay reparations for all of these countries that the United States of America has occupied, because they've went in and they've done damage, and they have. It's just a fact. But on the flip side of that, in Afghanistan, I mean, these people were living high off the hog from American industry that was established there. That's why they didn't want Americans to leave. This is the first time a lot of these people had jobs, meaningful jobs, so they could support their families out there. And, you know, our military was out there. So, you know, we definitely had to make sure certain things were in place for our military that were out there. But they have a country already.
Right.
Why would you tell them that America needs to pay reparations to them Wow, complete. Like I said, I Googled this woman's name, Kathleen. What did I say? Kathleen Kelly. Man, I closed the link out. Why do I keep doing that? Kathleen, I think her name was Kathleen Kelly. And it's like, did I put it in the inbox? I hope I did. But it's like, you don't even have anything that I've seen in 2 pages of Google search results that show that you've ever uttered a word about reparations for African Americans. Immigration in this country is destroying us. That's why I opened up reading that article that says that there's no more black majority in Atlanta, that the black population, according to new Census Bureau data in 2020, is now at 47%.
And the mayor thinks that that's a good thing.
Well, it was a councilman, city councilman, Michael Bond. He thought it was swell. For those of you that are just joining, let me put that link in the chat. This is dire, family. Our situation is dire. Yeah, what you said, Ali?
I said that's foolishness. But, you know, I heard you mention that you can look at New York as an example of how foolish that kind of idea is. To think that immigration, to think that the demographic of black people shrinking is beneficial to us in any kind of way. Now, he's not thinking about us, right? You can see just from his words, he's not thinking about us. He says the city has grown up, right? So basically, having a black population is immaturity. Having a majority black population is immaturity.
Talk to him, Ali.
So once we can bring in other people, we have arrived. Now we've arrived. Now we're doing something. All of that black shit is garbage, right? So I don't know who elected this dude. I don't know what kind of ethnic background he is, but we gotta watch these people, man, because a lot of these folks are really revealing themselves, man. I don't know who that dude is. It would be very interesting to find out that he's some goddamn immigrant his damn self.
Let me see. What is his name? Michael Bond. I'm about to pull him up. Let's see. Checking hairlines.
Check that nigga hairline, man. Ain't got no FBA hairline.
Now, I don't know if this dude is, he looked like he's FBA mixed. Yo, man, I'm about to pull this dude picture up. I don't know. This dude, he definitely not full-blooded Freedmen. That's for certain. I'm about to pull his picture up right now. Let's see who this guy is. Can y'all see him? Can y'all see those pictures? Like, this dude looked hazily in the face. There's those blue eyes. He got green eyes. I don't know, man. This dude just don't look like one of us. Look, this dude got green eyes. Hazel green eyes. This dude looks Spanish.
Come on, bro.
Come on, man. See, this is what I'm talking about, y'all. We got to take our politics back, and the majority of our people don't know any better because there's been no Freedmen reparations advocacy groups fighting in Atlanta, period. There haven't, and I'm talking about before COVID. There haven't been no boots on the ground in Atlanta besides, certain people, but they didn't have the support to really push what they were trying to push. And then when those that were trying to even run for office, like Sister Tamara, they was getting shut down by people that was supposed to be fighting for reparations. Like, what? How you get a reparationist candidate and y'all shutting her down? Anyway, yeah, this guy's not. Who is he? Michael Bond. This is why we start pulling these people up, man. This is why we start pulling these people up. Let me see. Argument over Atlanta council seat hinges on write-ins. So we look what looks to be. Let me see. Courtney English. He looks like a Freedman. So something happened in an Atlanta City Council race. It looks like votes for the likes of Beyonce and Mickey Mouse might have, I don't understand that, might have made a difference had they gone the other way. That's incumbent councilman Michael Julian Bond got 365 votes more than challenger Courtney English in a very close race with about 82,000 votes cast according to unofficial results. Huh?
You say his name is Michael Julian Bond?
Yeah.
Is he related to Julian Bond? Is that his son or something?
I don't know. Who is Julian
we could look
Bond?
We could look
Let me
for
pull
it.
up Julian Bond. Now that you say that, that name does. Oh, I don't know. That's interesting. That's interesting. All right, we looked that up. I don't want to read through this whole article, but I'm just trying to see what's going on. An attorney for English is saying that Bond didn't get 50% of the vote. So there was some fight with this dude. So where was we at? We should have been there, right? As a people that was pushing a reparationist message for this brother, Michael. I mean, what is this guy's name? English? Courtney English, excuse me. We should have been there. But now we know better, so we can do better. It's just as simple as that. And that's why our message got to get out there. Because this guy right here, this Julian Bond guy, he doesn't look like one of us. He doesn't look like one of us. Golden Panthero said he probably got a white wife. It wouldn't shock me. A couple things wouldn't shock me looking at his pictures, to be honest with you. You know, Meniz Aptara says these tethers are a problem. Yes, they are. They are problems. They are problems. Shannon said he may be Jamaican or Trinidadian like Colin Powell. He has the same look. Yeah, but this dude got green eyes.
Somebody in the family, real quick, see if he's related to Julian Bond, the civil rights activist Julian Bond. Maybe he's his son or something.
Yeah, let's see.
Maybe somebody in the chat could look that up just to so we could keep moving.
Let's see. Julian Bond children. Yep, that's his son. You called it, bro. I think. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure. I punched in Julian Bond's children. So you got Michael Julian Bond, Julia Louise Bond, Phyllis Jane Bond. Yeah, this is his son. No wonder they stole that vote from that brother Courtney English. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, it is.
This is something that's going to require. Hey, family, y'all know how we do. For those of y'all that are in the Be the Power group, drop some information in there. If y'all are not in our group on Facebook, send a request so y'all can be added to the group. Let's start digging into this information. Let's start looking into this people. We at BTP, we do this stuff all day. We be breaking these people down, looking into their backgrounds, etc. Let me say real quick, though, that over the past couple of days, we were able to raise some money for our family in Louisiana. Man, I was kind of shocked, to be honest with you. I woke up to 50s, 10s, 5s, 20s, $250 on top of the initial $200. We're trying to help. If we could just help one family, if we can just help one family, for us to be a upstart non-profit 501c3, that would be great. We are taking up donations. Go to usadof.org. You can make donations there. You can cash app us at Be the Power. 100% of the donations are going to go to proceeds came to my mind. 100% of the donations are going to go to maybe a family, maybe some organization. We're looking to deal with somebody directly. So we definitely want to help a family if we can, or two families, etc. Like I said, I'm putting up my own personal cash as well. Let's show the people that we are taking small steps towards our people, and we're never ever gonna walk backwards from them. So let's show support, family. Let's show some support. Again, Cash App, Be the Power, and put for Hurricane Ida relief or hurricane relief. And you could also donate via the website, usadof.org. Those donations are tax deductible as well, because we are a 501c3 organization officially. Look us up. Look us up. So, we wanted to come on here and talk about some of this stuff because it was bothering us earlier, man. Looking at this whole Afghan situation and people talking about reparations for Afghanis. I'm like, what? What is watering down our claim? You want to speak to any of that, brother?
No, not really. I mean, I think I've already said what I think in terms of what that's about. You making it plain. People trying to water down. They're trying to drown out our message by placing other people on top. I believe that's one of the main reasons for importing Afghanistan people into the country.
I'm about to pull something up, Ali. I didn't mean to cut you, bro. I'm about to pull something up. Hey, Sister Brianna P, sis. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. Somebody just tagged. I just checked Twitter, and somebody just put this on the video that I shared live, y'all. Can y'all see that? Let's go directly to the tweet. Y'all see that? St. Louis love is unmatched. Refugees are welcome here.
Yeah.
Well, so St. Louis Rainbow, she's retweeting. Well, this is the kind of traffic jam you don't mind seeing. Donation drop-off line for Afghan refugees goes around the corner at some place in St. Louis. Family, we trying to scrape up pennies for our people in Louisiana. People in Texas got affected bad too, but it was a direct impact on New Orleans and those surrounding cities. We're trying to scrape up pennies for them. And you got people like this.
Cory Bush.
You got people like Cory Bush talking about the St. Louis love is unmatched. Refugees are welcome here, while retweeting the donations for foreigners, while your citizens, Cory Bush, your people, Cory Bush, your people, the freedmen, those of us who descend from the freedmen, the formerly enslaved, are in Louisiana suffering right now. You people are sellouts. You people are sellouts, and we are coming. We are coming, and when we get those House seats, and we will get several Senate seats, y'all are gonna see the difference between us and people like Cory Bush and Jamal Bowman, who play like they're for reparations to get their foot in the political door and get the support of Black folk, where reparations has a very high percentage of approval, and then get in the door and start talking about Green New Deals and refugees coming to St. Louis. This is just craziness to me. Cory Bush, you on notice? You are on notice. We see you. We've been watching all of y'all's moves ever since y'all got in office, and we are coming.
I suspect that each political party are going to try to work towards getting Afghans the right to vote. Because I believe that they're looking at building up bases of support to drown us out, to nullify our political power and our sway in these elections. I really believe that somehow, some way, they're going to try to figure out how to make it so that Afghanis, whether they're citizens or not, are able to participate in the elections. I don't know what they're going to do. I could be dead wrong about it, because I know you're supposed to be a citizen in order to be able to vote. But man, I just got a feeling somebody's going to work some kind of funny business to make it so that these people can participate in some kind of way in
they're
elections.
Gonna do it. They're going to do it, Ali. They are going to do it, man. I'm telling you. Before 2022, the next year hits, they're going to find a way to not. These people are getting funded to come over here. You got donations for Afghan refugees. This chick, Cory Bush, is retweeting about Afghan refugees being welcomed in her city, retweeting images of people donating to Afghan refugees, while in the South, our people need everything. Why would you I can't feed the next door neighbor's children if my children are hungry and the next door neighbors just moved in. That don't make no sense.
Right.
These Cory Bush is a sellout. People say, you shouldn't use that term. That's why I said we've been watching them from day one since they got in office. We watched them gradually flip their language to democratic talking points. I watched Cory Bush. She can't even say black man and black woman. She says black birthing people. What the hell is that? What is that? Because black men and black women, or men and women in general, give birth. Come on.
Yeah, that's some confusion, man. That's that agenda. That's a part of that gay LGBT agenda. It is what it is. And the push for everyone to accept all of this deviant behavior as normal behavior is really what this agenda is about. To make everybody accept something as normal which is not normal.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And the confusion of terms, the confusion of words, the confusion of identity, and trying to impose that on our children with no regard for science, no regard for the fact that we for years learned the biological nature of man, the biological nature of woman. They want us to forget all of that stuff because they feel, some of them feel a certain kind of way about themselves. Like, I feel this way and I feel that way. These are people who have issues that should have been dealt with, psychological issues that should have been dealt with years ago, but they haven't. So instead of dealing with psychological issues the way they're supposed to be dealt with, they instead impose all of these different confused ideas and behaviors on society and try to force society to accept all of that stuff.
That's right. So, Golden Panthero says, could you briefly break down why reparations is important? My mom's is visiting me while I'm playing your show in the background. First, I want to put a link to our website. Make sure y'all visit BETHEPOWER.org, family. We have one of the, if not the most comprehensive breakdown of reparations on any website. And, we don't mean insofar as the detail, like academically written. No, we've taken what the academics have said in many of our talking points and put it in a way that just the average layman can understand it. And in that, we believe, it's our belief, that we have the most comprehensive breakdown on a website. On our BeThePower.org website. Go to the website, subscribe to our email list, join our email list. Go to our other website, usadof.org. We are the United Sons and Daughters of Freedmen. We are an official 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we're here doing this work. And we're also taking up collections for our family out there in Louisiana. Like I said, if we can just bless one family with $1,000 or $2,000, we trying to get that done by Saturday, family. So for those of you who are watching, we might go live tomorrow night as well. I'm just saying, like, we're here to do our job. And I'll be getting up 3 and 4 in the morning and making moves, fam.
That's
so,
a fact,
you know, and I'll be on here, still make time. Yeah, what you say, Ali?
Explain for the brother so his mom can understand why Black reparations is important. Like, go into that for him.
All right, definitely. So what you gotta understand, right? Matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do. Sometimes I think the visuals may work a little better. So let's pull up our website. Let's pull up our website and show via the graphs that we have on the website. Let me see how that looks. Okay, let's blow that up a little bit. Boom. Okay, so when you look at, this is the financial disparity, net worth by race and ethnicity since the late 1980s. This graph alone is damning. Matter of fact, let's see if I can blow this up a little bit more. I don't want it to bleed out of the screen.
Right.
Let's take it down one. Okay. Boom, that should be good. And this comes from the Federal Reserve. So let me break this down real quick. The purple that you see is white. Green is other. These are people that migrated over here and they're not necessarily classified as white, Black, or Hispanic. The black you see underneath the green is Hispanic. That light blue that you see is Black folks. Now, I want you to imagine all of these different colors being a weight, being weights, and you're laying there, and all of these different people are sitting on you, and you're being crushed into the ground. That's the way I view this graph right here. Like, we are being crushed, buried into the dirt. The average white family, let's scroll up. Let's scroll up. Let's scroll up. Dr. Sandy Darity breaks it down like this. He and A. Kirsten Mullins. They break it down like this. We view the Black-white wealth gap as a blight on the nation. While the 40 million eligible recipients of Black reparations constitute about 12% of the American population, they possess less than 2% of the nation's wealth. Remember, we've been here since day one. Other people, hence other on the graph, they done came over here and surpassed us, leapfrogged us. Let me continue. This translates into an average or mean differential per household of about $840,000 in net worth. So white people have $840,000 more than us in net worth, household income, basically, right? Ultimately, a well-designed reparations program could have a powerful impact on producing greater wealth equality among Black Americans. It's where we fail at. We have no businesses. We have no ownership. We barely own anything. Earlier, I was talking about New York. Almost every Black business that you see up there is going to be owned by either some West Indians, Caribbean, or Africans. It's not going to be one of us, the people whose ancestors were slaves and built this country for free.
Let me give you something, man, that I ran into. There's a restaurant in Harlem that's listed as Black owned. Yo, we went to the restaurant to get some takeout, and all of the people working in the restaurant are Hispanic, Latino, and I think there might have been a couple of Asians or some Asians in there. And I said, wait a minute, is this a so-called black-owned restaurant? Lo and behold, as I'm looking through the menu, I start to see all of these West African things on it, and I see some jollof on there. So I was like, oh, okay, I see what this is. This is a business owned by some West African who's putting other immigrants on, like Asians and Latinos. There's not one Freedmen FBA working in that restaurant, not one. But he's using the idea of black-owned business in order to promote his business, man. It's crazy. I just wanted to say that, just in terms of how this stuff really works against us, as much as people try to pretend that it is something to be joyous about, it's not. It's not. There's nothing to prove that it's beneficial to us.
That's right. I mean, I'm tweeting at Cory Bush while you was talking. I had to I had to say something. I gotta say something to her. I hope she sees this too, because this is it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, you know, back to the point. So reparations is important to us because we were basically, let me close this out. Well, I don't know. I could scroll through some of the other charts.
Yeah.
We were locked out of this nation's wealth, right? So this is U.S. black home ownership rates, and it remains below 45%. Whites have a 75% home ownership rate. So notice the black line is white people. White people. The blue line is other. We got that other again. Other always seems to be in second place behind white people. Who the hell is other? Right? We got to start thinking about that now. Who is other? Hispanic is the mustard yellow line. So, you know, they was neck and neck with us, but now they're surpassing us. Just think about the last chart. They were on top of us. And the neon pink line is black folk all the way at the bottom. We don't own anything. We don't even own homes. And yet we've been in this country from day one. We owned land back in the days out of slavery, where they took the 40 acres and a mule from us. We got no compensation. We pulled ourselves up by our bootless bootstraps. We made boots and made the straps to go with them. These people came, knocked us on our backs, took our boots and our straps, and said, oh, let me get this couple acres of land you got here and this business you done started along with it. My grandmother told me a story about how the white folks down in South Carolina was so jealous of her father's successful farm that they poured all type of flammable liquid all over the barn one night and burned it down, burned the animals alive. This is what they did to us. My grandmother's family don't, from what I know, own that parcel of land anymore. This is why it is so important that our people get reparations. Assets by race and ethnicity. Look again, like Hispanics are lower than us in asset holdings, but their overall numbers on everything else is rising. So pretty soon they too will surpass us in assets holding, because it's possible that many of the black asset holdings is some of what goes all the way back from after Reconstruction, those that were still able to hold on to some things, as opposed to Hispanics who are over here now building from scratch. But even in that, right, let me pull up this other chart. But look where other is at. Other is in second place again. Y'all see other? But let's stop sharing this and let's pull up this other chart. Let's pull up this other chart and show you where Hispanics are at, flying up the ladder. Hispanic incomes grew faster than those of any other groups in recent years. This is the estimated percent growth in median household income between 2014 and 2019. Bloomberg put this out. We see white people's income didn't really grow. Collectively, white income doesn't necessarily have to grow. They are already situated and established and working at the higher end of the income spectrum already. This is just for the years between 2014 and 2019. Look where we're at. Basically nowhere. But look at Hispanics and look at Asians. Asians are a part of that other group, family. Asians are a part of that other group. I'm just saying, this is where we're at. So to my brother Golden Panthero and to your mother, I hope y'all are listening in, man. Thank y'all for listening in, first and foremost. I hope y'all see in brief some of why reparations are important. Let's pull up another article. Let's pull up another article and show you that your son's children and his children are in danger 30 years from now if we don't get reparations right now. Now, remember, most of what we're talking about is median wealth at the middle, where we're already suffering. We're already worth probably now after COVID less than $1,700 without durables, meaning things that depreciate over time. So here is from The Guardian, this article we pull up all the time on this platform. Median wealth of Black Americans will fall to zero by 2053. So imagine we're at 1,700 now. This article shows this link right here. In 2013, past 2013, Black household wealth is at 1,700. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit so that y'all can see that. All the way at the bottom, right there, you see our wealth at 1,700. In 30 years from now, that's going to be at zero. It's going to be at zero, which means that the people that are already below $1,700, they're doing horrible right now. Could you imagine where they're going to be 30 years from now? If we don't get reparations within the next couple of years, I'm just going to go out on a limb. I don't do doom and gloom preaching, but I'm just going to say that it's over for us in America, besides the few that have been able to save up some money and share the collective of our people. We're going to be twisted, man. Brother Ali, you had anything to say to that? The Brother Ali? I don't know. All right, so this is what I'm going to do while my brother Ali is coming back onto the mic. I want to pull up. Did I close the article out? Oh, I had a Charles Blow article that he wrote called Chocolate Chip City, where he was speaking to the book, man, you know, The Devil You Know. Oh, whoa. See, yo, who is this person, man? K Maya, get the language right. Shout out to K Maya, get the language. My bad, Ali. I got to pull up something else real quick from Twitter. Hold on.
So good.
Hold on. Shout out to the brother, man. Shout out to that brother. Make sure y'all follow that brother too. Let me make sure I'm following him. I'm not. Oh, no, I am following him. All right, K Maya, get the language right, has sent me another tweet. Associated Press. Black population continues to decline in St. Louis. Let's click on the article. This was June 25th, 2020. Oh, come on, but these people are playing games. They're playing games, family. This is, let's pull that article up. Let's pull that article up. We are not playing with these people. Our people are on it, man. Shout out to all the freedmen out there and all the freedmen organizations. So this is the article published June 20 last year, June 25th, 2020. close that out. Black population continues to decline in St. Louis. New census estimates show that St. Louis is continuing to lose Black residents while the white population holds steady. Now, remember Ferguson, where that particular district attorney or prosecutor, whatever he was, he kept getting elected over and over again because a lot of our people wasn't voting in that particular city in Ferguson because we weren't politically active at the time. But I'm willing to bet that Missouri, the state of Missouri's Black demographics is small already. So we trying to get our people back down south, of course. But if this report, if you're from St. Louis and you have your fingers on the pulse of what's going on in St. Louis, then a story like this can't miss your eyes. It can't. It just cannot. You know that your population is declining in St. Louis, and you're trying, Cory Bush, to bring Afghan refugees over. Retweeting, I'm not saying people shouldn't donate. People should do what they want to do with their money, food, whatever. But we got citizens in the South that need all of our support who just got hit by Hurricane Ida. Shame on you, Cory Bush. Shame on you. Let me read a little bit of this and I'm going to close this out. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch reported that estimates released Thursday by the U.S. Census Bureau showed 136,168 Black residents as of last July, or 45.3% of the city's population. That represented declines of 3,490 from the 2018 estimate and 21,272 from the 2010 census. Wow. 21,000, almost 22,000 from the 2010 census to the 2020 census based on the estimate that they did in 2018. The city's white population numbered 144,649, or 48.1% of the population in 2019. That was up by 336 from 2018 and up 591 since 2010. So the white population is growing. You were saying something, Ali?
No, I was just listening as you were reading. I was
I could have sworn I thought I heard you say something. My bad.
No, I had it on. I had the mic muted.
Let me put this link in the chat. We got to fight, family.
And you got these Black representatives, man, trying to tell our people this stuff is a good thing. You know, trying to sell you, trying to hand you shit on a plate and tell you that it's a meal.
Oh man, Cory Bush. We're about to start focusing on Cory Bush. We're about to start. See, this brother K. Maya is on it. All right, let's go to this. Let's go to this one. Mm-hmm. Let's go to this one. These people playing a wicked, wicked game, and then she sees the backlash she gets from our people. Now look what she puts. Black Americans are the most targeted racial group in our country. Hate crimes are reaching new highs in our country. Where's the post-racial society you speak of? Let's type live, right? Well, quote unquote, sis, you are pushing to import Afghan, I'm trying to type too fast, refugees in the United States who will be, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons, who will be classified as white people. They too will be given license to commit hate crimes against our people and get away with it. Whatever happened to that Asian dude that shot that little boy? Remember the guy swung the sledgehammer and the little boy dipped it, and the Asian dude went in the house and then shot this little boy, a little Freedmen brother, little black kid. You remember that, Ali?
Yeah, I remember. I don't know
what happened to that story. I haven't heard anything about that.
Me neither. I haven't either, so I don't know. But they just announced saying that the young brother who I don't remember what state this was in, but the police and the EMT workers who injected him with some kind of sedative are now being held liable for his death. His name is Elijah, a young brother named Elijah. I forget his last name. They just put it out today that those police officers who were responsible for putting him in a chokehold and the EMT workers who injected him with that sedative are going to be held responsible for his homicide. So, you know, at least that, you know,
yeah, I've seen that.
I think it should be more than homicide, man. But you know, that's what they're charging these people with.
Capital. They deserve capital punishment for murdering that boy.
Yeah. That baby was crying, man. Now, you remember that? That was so sad. Like he was trying to tell him that, you know, he's different. He's not into any of these. What he said, he said, I don't have any guns or anything. Cause I think they was asking him if he had any weapons or whatever. And dude was crying and begging him, you know, man.
Elijah McClain, that's his name. Yep.
Yeah. Sad, man.
We can't be out here caping for some Afghanis. They're gonna come over here. Oh, family, we gotta keep fighting. We gotta keep pushing. But that's why we're here, right? This is not the most popular subject, and it's all good because it takes is a handful of us to make the change that's needed, to talk to our people, talk to our family members, talk to our neighbors, talk to our coworkers, talk to people that would ally with us. You know, I have people hitting me up who are not freedmen saying, how can I assist the United Sons and Daughters of Freedmen? You see, people that understand the plight and understand what we're trying to do. We don't hate immigrants. That's not what we're saying. We've never, ever expressed the hate. We're showing the harms that immigration has had towards our people and how when immigrants come over here, they get elevated above us. Right now, every state in the union should be chipping in to send relief to Louisiana, to New Orleans. But because that's black people, it don't mean nothing. But new white folks are coming over here with the nationality of Afghanistanian, and let's make sure we roll out the white carpet. Let's make sure we roll out the white carpet for them. Make sure y'all hit the like button, fam. Hit the like button. And don't forget, and anybody that's watching, you know, some of these big YouTube channels, y'all be watching Be the Power. Y'all can hit the like button too. You know, cats be scared to put us in the algorithm. We ain't trying to take over YouTube. We trying to take over Capitol Hill. We trying to take over the Oval Office. And when we say take over, we mean by election. And we mean by having our people move from northern states down to the southern states so that we could have political majorities in these states. Like Sister Shanna said, we are fighting for our survival now, period. Right. And
we trying to take over state houses. And
that's right, state houses. That's right, Ali. That's right. You know, these, man, I was about to make a point about something with these Afghanis coming over here.
Shanna said, we fighting for our lives, you know?
And that's a fact, man. That's a fact. Sister Shanna said, I'm not understanding if the U.S. did their country so bad and turn around fleeing here with money and housing in hand. That's what I'm talking about. Go fix their place up. Why are you bringing them over here?
Their place up? You know what's crazy, man? Them people are going to get seed money to start businesses and all kind of shit.
Yep. They're going to surpass us. 10 years from now, there's going to be some New York Times articles talking about Afghan refugees embracing and living the full American life. Ahmed and them going to be being interviewed, talking about, yes, we came here, we didn't know what to expect. We love America, yada, yada, yada. We would like to thank
We got
the
our
governor.
businesses out.
Yeah. The Republican governor.
They're gonna be talking about their businesses that they've started and how things are working so good for them now. Yeah. All these very poor people who needed aid are gonna all of a sudden start popping up with businesses. Yes, we'll see.
That's right. That's right. So, I mean, look, man, we wanted to get on here and talk about this a little bit. That Atlanta story really, I mean, I'm gonna put that in the inbox again for those of you in the live chat, I should say, for those of you who have come on late. Damn, Derek Smith said you late. Look, Derek Smith said you late, fam. I heard in LA they already have it popping. I think somebody was saying out there in California, Afghanis got it popping. What you said, Ali?
Wow. Ask the brother Derek, what are they doing? Like, break it down. What are they doing out there in LA?
He says, if you heard brother Derek, what are some of the things they doing out there? He commented, he said they have their people already here where they will have help from their countrymen and the government. What's going on, Sister Roz?
Yeah. What up, Roz? What's good?
Shanna said many of them come from money. So, some of them, if they over here, they're going to get embraced with open arms, right?
Hey.
We don't got billionaire Jay-Z and billionaire Kanye West saying, hey, man, I heard y'all trying to relocate our people back to the South so we can have greater political power. I'm willing to put up $1 million and build some, temporary housing until we could get things moving and start this. We can't think like that. Our people want to get $1 billion just so they could become a part of a rare atmosphere and then get on and brag about the types of steaks they eat and the watches that they bust down or whatever that crap means. My bad, Ali. What you were saying?
I wonder if any of these Afghanis are going to be held responsible for being deadbeat fathers or deadbeat parents. Are they going to be put on child support? Like, are they going to be run through the child support system the way they run black people through the black citizens? Or are they going to get seed money to start businesses? Or are they going to get help from the government? See, this is what's really interesting. When Afghanis start getting driver's licenses while black Americans having their driver's licenses suspended for child support arrears, I wonder, are they going to research the backgrounds of any of these Afghanis to see if they have any kind of children that they're not taking care of? And if they do have children that they're not taking care of, is the government going to give them money to take care of those children, to bring those children here if they're still in Afghanistan? Is the government going to give them money to bring them here and help them take care of them? Or are they going to deny them driver's licenses because they're not taking care of their children?
That's a good point, brother Ali. That is a good point because that's what's happening to us. And I just put in the chat, we need to be, meaning us as freedmen, at the forefront of all contracts that come from that infrastructure bill. See, while Cory Bush is caping for Afghanis, they're probably going to be people that get these jobs that work on highways and roads in places like St. Louis and in Los Angeles. We need to be at the forefront. Man, we got to make some serious noise, fam. And that's why I think about the other YouTube content creators sometimes that are in the space. And
But wait, isn't money for Afghan refugees welfare? Isn't that welfare? Shouldn't they be here pulling themselves up by their bootstraps? Shouldn't they just be glad that they're in the United States and just work hard and pull themselves up by their bootstraps? Why is everybody so willing to?
Ali?
Why are they so willing to put out all of this welfare like this?
Sheesh. Gee, yeah, look, they taking over. Sister Shannon said she went to Costco Sunday and never ever saw as many immigrants, Chinese, East Asians shopping before. They are young groups too. We see the Mexicans flooding Walmart here. It's the same thing going on in Georgia. That's why we got to start pulling our people down. We got to make some noise. And like I tell people all the time, like I really, of course I want our channel to grow because we're pushing a message that we feel is important. This is not for entertainment purposes. We may laugh and crack a few jokes here and there, roast a clown or two that tries to come on, but we are dead serious about what we're fighting for. We're dead serious about this thing. And like I always say, I would rather be fighting on Capitol Hill right now against the people like Cory Bush. I would be the one on the floor calling her out. Nobody would like me. Nobody would like me except my people. Those are the people on Capitol Hill. They'd be like, I don't like that dude. And I would be loving it. I would be embracing every bit of it.
Roz just made some powerful points, man. Peace I seen. Put Roz's comment up about U.S. citizens, man.
She says U.S. citizens don't know that money is being pilfered from our communities to quote unquote new Americans across the country. Wow. Golden Panthero said, nah, we are coming to get our check. They coming to get our check, bro.
They coming to get it.
Yo, they coming to get it. Like Sister Shannon said, they need to work extra ass hard. That's
man. Yo, those people, let me tell you something, man. There shouldn't be anybody. I'm about to put our pathway to citizenship out there, man. I'm about to throw it out there. Go ahead. Listen, family, we got a pathway to citizenship for all them immigrants. Y'all want to know what it is? If y'all want to know what our pathway to citizenship is, let me y'all put a 1. Let me see. Put a 1 in the comment.
Put a 1 in the chat if y'all want to know what the BTP's pathway to citizenship is. Ali gonna give us a dope breakdown on that. Put a 1 in the chat, family. Let's see some ones if y'all want to know.
It's kind of radical now. I'm gonna say it. It's a radical concept. But what was the Freedmen's pathway to citizenship? How did we get to citizenship? What did we go through to get to citizenship? Now just think about this. Why is it that we're the only people who had to go through what we went through to get to citizenship and everybody else gets to skip over all of that? No, I think part of our reparations package should include indentured servitude. All of these people coming into this country, whether they coming in from Europe, the Middle East, Latin America, or wherever, they should be forced to indenture themselves to the descendants of freedmen for 7 years. That should be part of their pathway to citizenship.
Powerful. I like it.
Indentured servitude. We want an indentured servitude program reinstated on behalf of the descendants of freedmen. For every immigrant coming into this country, they need to indenture themselves to a freedman family for 7 years.
That's right.
And if you don't do it, you can't become a citizen.
Mint julep, please. Hey, it's radical, but it's something that we have discussed. We had to go through it. How is it that everybody gets to skip over all of that and latch on to the things that were established for us in the first place? How is that? We had to go through fighting. We're still fighting. And they just get to skip the line. And every time we go through something, I don't know if y'all remember that scene in Martin when he goes to the DMV, and they told him the dude that used to play George Jefferson, Sherman Hemsley, he was like, you got to go to the back of the line. He was like, where the line? He looked at the line, and there was a big sign that said from scratch. We always got to get on the from scratch line as a people every single time. Peace, Sister Riri.
Peace.
Joe Biden is not our ally at all. None of these people. Cory Bush, Joe Biden, they all in the AOC. All of these people are in the same basket. They are no different. Oh, Josh, no, bro.
With Josh.
Josh just jumped on. I'm not staying on, Josh. I'm about to close out in 5 minutes.
Yo, Josh heard that indentured servitude program. He said, I got you.
Josh, unmute, Josh.
Jesus.
Hey, Josh, I had to break down a little bit of the indentured servitude program, man. You know what I'm saying?
No. Hey.
See,
man.
See, look, this the problem. Hold on. Josh don't be listening. He'll see that we live here. Oh, they on live and jump in when we right about to get off, like every single time.
I'm like, sometimes I can't get it in so I'm like, as soon as I get opportunity, let me hop on. Hopefully they still got a few minutes.
Yeah.
But that's all good. It's all good,
Josh, a few minutes, bro.
No, hey man. Hey, look, I want to say to that, Ali. Mm-hmm. When you first said that last year, I thought that was the craziest thing. I was like, man, hell no, that's crazy. But that thing grew on me, man. I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest.
Ting-a-ling.
We can modernize it. You know what I'm saying? We can modernize it. I mean, for real, let's be honest. Like, in my opinion, to a certain extent, the H-1B program is similar. Is just a maybe a lesser version of that. Like we can modernize the program. Like, for example, because every country you go to, you can't just get access to everything, and the country is just going to provide you resources, opportunities, money. You can buy land and real estate. Like, you can't do that in every country. In every country, you can't just get ease and access. Like, they don't just provide that. Even refugees. Right. Like, in certain countries, you have to have a certain status. You have to have a certain investment that you put in. You have to have a certain amount of money that you're coming with. And then even then, they may not even let you own things. You know what I'm saying? They're not just gonna let any and everybody come through. I know that's been America, but at some point we have to cut it off, because it's a serious problem here. Like, I think about those folks coming over now. Yeah, America may have done some dirty things in their country, but like, this war and a dirty thing was done to our country. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when I was in the 12th grade and 9/11, that it happened. I was in the hallway and I was like, somebody told me you lying. I was like, you lying, right? Then I get in the classroom, the teacher's not in the classroom, and come to find out, like, the first 20, 30 minutes of class, she wasn't there. It was a TV. So I turned on the TV and I saw, and like, people were paying attention. Then all of a sudden the second plane hit the towers. I'm like, oh, and she just lost it because her boyfriend was working in the towers, So I never got to find out if he survived or not. I don't remember, but so I'm thinking, like, people forget, yeah, we were in Afghanistan. Yeah, it morphed into something else, but it originated, like, and then it could have lied. I don't know. But the original issue was, y'all housing Osama bin Laden, you're not giving, and Al Qaeda terrorists, you're not giving them up, you're not giving them information. So that's like war now. And then the Taliban, we can see that they're like a repressive government. So I get that we cause death and destruction in the country, and I get that all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to, like, the amount of money that was pumped in, and when it comes to now, like, when we talk reparations, I know you probably hashed all this stuff out, but when it comes to reparations, like nobody should ever think to utter the word reparations without saying freedmen first. You should not get to say that. And when I think y'all may have played that clip with that old Mzungu activist. She was talking about how they deserve monetary reparations.
We definitely.
Well, let me say my little piece real quick on that. So,
no, go ahead. I would hold on. Every time I see somebody from the hood, I gotta give a shout out my hood. Shout out to my hood in the building. Hamels, peace. What's good, V Stone? I gotta give a shout out. My bad. Go ahead, Josh.
You good? You good? Hey, that's honorable. But yeah, as far as that, to me, it's like every time when a new, people have this white guilt, right? They know that America's done, particularly the folks that's been the dominant society in America and the power, white Americans, for the most part, who has been a white supremacist society, they have done some dirty stuff to freedmen, to a lot of people around the world, and other folks in America. But so as soon as like they can get back to having somebody else that needs to be the center, that they can anybody, let me have white guilt and have to do something for anybody except for freedmen. See what 2020 did with George Floyd, that made it to where they had to, it was so brutal and it was so egregious and it was causing damage in America. They had to center like the guilt, like, all right, damn, we gotta do something about this in America. We gotta center that. Like, damn, it's tugging too hard on the strings, right? But then, Asian hate, they say, oh, we got to do something for the Haitians. They need reparations. Oh, migrants, soon as 2020 kind of got tired out, they said, all right, we're going to go back to the border, the migrants at the border. Right. Oh, we're going to go to Asians. Now we're going to go to the Afghans. Anybody but the freedmen, let me do something for them. Because that's like, they're like, yes, we get to replace somebody else in that, in that slot. So, I mean, that's what it seemed like to me. And I don't think like we were talking about earlier, it needs to be a consequence. If any, you can't be talking about reparation for nobody until you fulfill this grievance. Because this is not like some, even like some Native American tribes who they try to say they need to be in front of us in terms of a justice claim. No, keep in mind, the 5 civilized tribes, we also got to call them the 5 slaveholding tribes, right? Because a lot of our people that of those tribes had similar.
Hold on, that's what we're calling them from now on. We will never use that term 5 civilized tribes. From now on, it's the 5 slaveholding tribes. My bad. Go ahead, bro.
That's right. Because when you try to put them on the same level with us, show us where we had a society, or we had large of black areas, that or even freedmen, that we had those people under subjugation, where we were locking them out for citizenship and into our society, or access in our society, where we had them under chattel slavery. Keep in mind, a lot of these tribes had levels of slave ownership comparable to like the state of Tennessee, states in the South that had like a quarter of the people own slaves, so we cannot equate the plight and the justice demand for repair and for all that kind of stuff to anybody on our level. Nobody comes before us. We have the most egregious damage that was done, and we come first. And hey, man, if they start talking reparations about anybody else when they talk about us, they need to get some hell thrown at them. I don't want to call for them crazy, but look, if that happened, bro, this joint need to be on fire. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, if that happens, this place it just needs to burn to the ground. Point blank, period. It just needs to burn to the ground, because We can't, I mean, there's at some point, you can't sit around and just say, oh, well, and think we're going to YouTube our way out of it. At some point, we are going to have to take some other type of measures. Whereas they're going to pay everybody else reparations, and they're not going to call it reparations, but that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. And we, the people that have been here from day one, that made this country great. We made this country great. It's the sounds of Motown that graced a lot of the most classic Oscar-winning movies that we grew up with in the 80s and the 90s. And some of those songs are still played until this day. We wrote the soundtrack to this country. Countless of our inventions are being used today. And who knows how many were stolen by either some slave master or some cracker that said that you didn't really come up with this. This is mine now.
Right.
You ain't getting nothing
man.
for it. You going to court.
A lot of patents.
That's right. You going to court. Okay, well, my cousin Jethro's the judge. We'll see how that fares for you.
Shalom, fam.
You know. So, you know, we
powerful commentary, man.
You know, it's
powerful commentary.
We got to do something. We can no longer, like, I never got on, when we did Be the Power, we wanted to, again, add on to a conversation that was being had. Our plan was never to get into no dramas with people that was never really about reparations in the first place. That was never our plan. The plan was we were going to become a force that nobody in this country could reckon with. Period. Nobody.
You know something? You touched on something about inventions, and Rod, I mentioned patents, and Rod said the Patent and Trademark Office is a co-conspirator. Think about this. When we talk about the federal government being held responsible for the wrongs that have been done to our people, imagine how many people have had their inventions stolen from them by way of patents and trademarks because they didn't have the money or the know-how to either patent or trademark something. And these Europeans took it and ran with it. Remember the movie with Samuel L. Jackson? I think it was called The Banker or something like that.
I didn't see that. That's a more recent movie, correct?
Yeah, it was Samuel Jackson and Anthony Mackie. And I think they tried to bring the debit card or credit card setup to the bank. And they tried to get the bank to back it. And the bank was like, nah, we're not going to do that. We don't see that thing working. And so they shut them down, and then they took the concept and they ran with it, and they started implementing their own bank cards and stuff like that. Took their idea and ran with that shit, man.
Crazy. That's been our life here, and now they have printed up bank cards and credit cards and debit cards and all type of cards that they're just giving to immigrants. In New York, immigrants was getting driver's licenses while black folks who couldn't afford to pay child support was getting their licenses suspended. I know I was one of them. I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm not ashamed to say that at all. I've had my license suspended before by the state of New York, trying to catch up on child support. And then the process just to get it took like 4 months for them to finally unsuspend the license because of that's just New York.
That's right.
I mean, come on, man. And people just get to come over here and enjoy all the amenities that America has to offer. I go back to my analogy, the freedmen, AKA African Americans, AKA Black people in America, are the doormat to the house that is the United States of America, and every other people get to walk in the door, and before they walk in, they get to wipe their feet on the doormat. That is us.
Yeah, I remember, I don't know if y'all touched on this, but we were talking earlier about, you know, our 12-point program and how originally it was, we kind of trimmed it to the 12-point program because originally we had a lot more points. But one of the points and the things we were demanding for was that the Freedmen story be mandatory, be taught to all,
That's
like
right.
as a part of all new immigrant orientation to America. You got to learn this Freedmen history. Because other, you know, how is it that you think you can just step on us? Like you come, like I've seen it time and time again. Everybody come to America, a bunch of new immigrants. They figure, okay, either I'm going to align myself with the progressive Democrat, quote unquote progressive Democrat, or liberal Democrat, or right wing Republican. The first two are pretty much just ignoring us.
And Josh dropped off.
That's crazy. But the point he was making is real. Our history should be made mandatory for all immigrants, European, South American, Central American, Caribbean, doesn't matter. All immigrants should be forced as part of their civics test to become citizens. They should be forced to learn the history of Black people as slaves and as freedmen and everything else, man. They should be forced to learn that. Because that's important. That's like, you know, cornerstone stuff, man. Without us, there is no America. They should know that. They should know that. And because they don't know it, they think that coming here and using us as the doormats is the American way. It is the American way. It's the American way, but that needs to stop.
That's right. And I want to give a shout out to everybody that has donated. Remember, we are taking up donations for hurricane relief. I mean, even if we can, you know, just get to one family or two families, three families, it doesn't matter. Send your donation to cashapp BETHEPOWER. You can also send your donations to the website usadof.org, which is our official 501c3. I mean, let's, you know, like I said, these are baby steps. We're going to show people that we are about this work for real. We didn't come in here to play no games at all. And yes, people should learn in their civics course when they are taking the exam to become citizens here about the history of our people. See, you know why America won't do that? Because then they themselves would have to reckon with the information that they put in those texts. And then people might look and be like, damn, you know, let's just say you coming from Africa, like, damn, if they treating the African American, let's just say it been like that. They treating Black African Americans over there like that, they probably gonna treat me the same. They may have had second thoughts about coming over here. They may have.
And you know what? Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Josh.
Now, I was say it's interesting that a lot of times when you talk to people, like, you know, I talk to Uber drivers, they, you know, a lot of them are foreigners. And when you talk to them about their country, they may have been dealing with some crazy stuff. It might be civil war. It might be, you know, just some crazy situation. And they have resentment towards America or America's role that America played in there. Yet they're over here and they got family over here. They're doing business over here. And I'm like, so what you're saying, what that's kind of communicated to me is, and y'all let me know what you think about it. But it's like, I really don't like America. I just need to make money. So I'm not here to do to participate in any type of work to fix anything in America. Negroes, sorry, you know, y'all Black Americans, sorry, you know, like I'm just here to make money. You want me to do all this other stuff? Like, I don't like America anyway. So I don't care if it burns. Just let me get my bread, and hopefully I'll be in a better place. Like that's I get a lot of that sentiment. And or it's let America continue, and I don't care about what you have going on. Just let my path to my bread be clear, you know. But that's why I think it's a problem when you don't center the story of how you were able to even come here. You know, if you don't have that at the center of your American experience when you get oriented to come to America, like you said, the civics test, whatever, like that's a problem. That's a problem because you need to understand, how did you get here?
That's right.
Through us. That's how you got
through
it.
us, our pain, our suffering, our blood, sweat, and tears got you.
You know
over
what?
here.
We should play we should do this probably every program from now on. Play Donald Trump saying to the African Americans, you know, you built this country.
That's right.
You all
That's
built
right.
this country. You're just not getting the credit for it, but you built this country. We need to take that clip and play that shit every program, man.
That's right. Especially for the immigrants, like the one you was roasting that a couple weeks ago. We just put that clip up. I just put it up on my IG channel. I'm going to put it up on the Be the Power IG page. Go to Be the Power's Instagram page and follow that. We're going to start putting content on there. I've been neglecting that page. I've just been kind of busy lately, you know. Shout out to Lenny Lewis for looking out. Salute to BTP Peace. Bros. Thanks for the info. Always honest, fam. Thank you, man. Thank you. And again, you know, not to mention Lenny Lewis just became a member of the channel. We can tell by the icon. Salute to Lenny Lewis for becoming a member. Salute. Just helping our platform grow. That's all. That's right. Thank you. Honest, brother. Like I said, we're trying to be, BTP is trying to be our own version of TYT. I keep saying we're gonna add more people on. I just can't work my way around. My schedule is just crazy right now, but I'm gonna get this thing going. We got 2 channels. The other channel is called BTP Media Group. We don't know if we're gonna change the name of that to Freedmen University yet. I don't know, but we're gonna get on it. We're gonna make sure we have this thing popping. Our channels need to be popping so that people could start knowing where to come get that information from. I'm not trying to go back and forth with no demons unless they basically got pale skin or if they trying to crap on our redress claim for the grievances that we've been through. What's going on, Josh?
Let me ask y'all, what is y'all's opinion on why do you think that most like immigrants and stuff that come into America don't align with us in our fight? Do you think part of it, the reason is that they don't even see us having like a respectable fight that's like a self-interested fight, like we kind of kowtow to whatever everybody else wants except for what we need?
Well, let me answer real quick. Hold on, because a nice article was written about this. When diversity for diversity's sake is not enough, should Black immigrants receive the benefits of African Americans? So let's read what it says, because it's talking about affirmative action and how. Let me put this link in the chat. Y'all know how we do. Yeah, like this is all classes always in session when BTP is on the air. So let's read. The continued admission of large proportions of Black immigrants relative to Native Blacks goes against an important diversity rationale in Grutter versus Bollinger. And I keep saying I'm going to look this case up, and I just keep forgetting, but let me pull it up so that I can have it. And when I see it in my browser, I can read it. A cornerstone of the diversity rationale in Grutter which allowed the use of race-based preferences in higher education admission policies, was to create an environment of diverse experiences that would help to dispel negative stereotypes held of certain minority groups. So they figure the more, it's just like that Atlanta city councilman that we read earlier. Basically, you know, the more people we have here, the more the world sees us as diverse and inclusive, et cetera, right? At least that's my interpretation. So it says, Black immigrants have now become an overrepresented group within Black populations at many colleges and universities, particularly at more selective institutions. So you know what that means, those higher university types. It continues.
Overrepresented.
That's right, overrepresented. This trend is significant because Black immigrants bring with them experiences and perspectives similar to those held by other immigrant groups as compared to Native Blacks. And more importantly, Black immigrants harbor views of Native Blacks that are similar to those held by the dominant American culture, including many of the negative stereotypes of Native Blacks and the Black subculture. So this has a footnote, right, for number 10, when it says that they bring with them experiences and perspectives similar to those held by other immigrant groups as compared to Native Blacks. So at footnote 10, it says, see infra notes 116 to 113, 116-38 and accompanying text. So I haven't gone through this whole article myself, but I'm going to check out what those notes are and see what they say. Now, in the second footnote, it says, including many of the negative stereotypes of Native Blacks and the Black subculture, which is 11, and it again referencing to infra notes 198-201 and accompanying text. So it's clear that they have did a study here, and they have notes that accompany, you know, what they are briefly saying, you know, I guess for the sake of not expanding the point that they're trying to get across, which is immigrants come over here, have access to affirmative action, more so than Black Americans, and then try to diss Black Americans. Remember, white culture, the white middle class got built because of the government welfare program when it first started in the early 1900s. For 30 years, Black folks were excluded from that welfare program. As soon as we got on the welfare program, white folks tried to snatch the rug from under us while we were still standing on it. Matter of fact, they did do that. They talked about it so bad to that it lasted all the way up until the 1980s, that when Ronald Reagan ran for president, he was able to use welfare and the welfare queen trope as a pivotal point of dog whistle racism politics that still goes on today, that Donald Trump uses, and that Joe Biden is famous for. If you don't vote for me, you ain't Black. Why? Because I'm a Democrat and you're supposed to vote for me. N-word. I don't want to get the page struck, and I can't stand that word anyway. I don't say it. So you see, so you know, we need to dig into this too, Josh, a little bit more deeper as well. I'm glad you brought that question up, because they're, you know, within this paper, they probably delved into, like I said, I didn't read the whole thing, but they probably delve into the mindset of what these, you know, people who migrate over think about Black Americans in the first place.
Yo, you shared with me a powerful story that you was talking to somebody. I don't know if you want to tell all the details, when you were talking to somebody and they were surprised on how you knew so much about their country. And then, you know, like the way you talk, like when you talk with them, it's like you kind of have something in common, like a common plight. Like you they understand what it means to be under oppression. But then they come to America, and all of a sudden they feel they with you until you start talking something like, hey, let's fight together. you know, to be on our side to help us get you know, our justice here and
That's right.
get rid of the oppression here. And then they just like, you know, I'm not saying that's what this person was saying, but this is a common thing. And well, I'm just gonna put my head down, you know. And we saw that with, I mean, I don't know, did you want to tell the story? Or did I already pretty much tell it?
No, yeah, you good. I mean, I got so many of them, but you know, this guy worked from Venezuela. He heard the song "Doing the Butt." It was playing on the radio. Ay, sexy, sexy. And dude was just cracking up laughing. And I've told several stories like this. Is this the one you're referencing, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay, so dude was just cracking up laughing. And I said, "You never heard this song before?" And he was like, "Nah, I never heard this song before." And that's, you know, I asked him, I was like, "Where are you from? You know, which Spanish country are you from?" And he was like, "Venezuela." So we got to talking about Chavez and Maduro. And, you know, he was kind of shocked that I knew basically the political landscape of his country. And we had a good conversation, right? And the fact that he didn't know that song, which is like 30 years old, right? Doing the Butt is like 30 years old. Somebody was like, that song is at least 20 years old. I'm like, y'all telling our age, man. I was like, that song is like 30 years old right now. And still hitting, because that's a Freedmen song. That's why. That Washington, D.C. go-go, for those of you who know about that, right? So, but the point is that, like Josh said, if it was time to get in the grind with us, who is this man gonna align with? He's not gonna align with us. He doesn't know. He doesn't even know our culture and the songs that are popular in our culture. You can throw that song on right now, even with the youth in the club. Today's scene, lean sipping, Xanax popping, and that joint still going smack, and the youth still going to dance to it because they heard it all their lives because it was always played on the radio. Certain songs are also a part of our culture, you know? So, you know, I got, it's a bunch of stories like that, man. You talk to people from other countries and, you know, they're surprised that you know as much as you know about their countries, especially the politics, especially. You know, yeah, that, you know, I was in Job Corps in Chesapeake, Maryland. It was so funny because we had beef with the DC dudes. They jumped me, matter of fact. And when I got there, they was at war, and New York was up there heavy. And that's when they had this crew out of Brooklyn called the Decepticons, and they got rid of all the New York dudes and let all the DC dudes stay in there. So it was like 4 or 5 of us, and we was fighting like 15, 20 dudes. And we would go, they would have the parties every Friday and Saturday night. It was one of them nights. I can't remember if it was both. It was the Job Corps in Chesapeake, Maryland. I can't remember which Job Corps, the exact name. And, you know, they would play like the New York hip hop, and we'd be on there, you know, getting it in on the dance floor. And then they played it, and all the DC dudes would just be sitting there. Then they play the go-go, then all the DC dudes would jump up, get on the floor, then all the New York dudes would go sit down, wait for them to play. The DJ used to be doing that on purpose. So, you know, that's one of my little stories, just to show how our cultures intermingle and how, you know, we just the dope people. We're just dope. We're just dope. But I say that to say that if you don't understand our cultural expressions like a song like that, then how could you ever see eye to eye with our cultural plight, which has been freedom fighting and battling against these oppressors who sit in the highest seats in this land? Period. So Brother Ali dropped off, but we're about to get up off of here. Brother Josh, did you have any last words for the fam before we get up off here?
Nah, man, I had a similar incident today. I was taking Uber, and it was a guy from Serbia, and you know, you were surprised that I knew so much.
Your audio is going kind of crazy.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I was in an Uber today with a guy from Serbia, and he was surprised that I knew so much about, you know, his country and you know, the names, and I, you know, I was learning more about it. But you know, it's like when we have questions and we're learning about the cultures, it seems like it's not a reciprocal interest, where like we're learning about like the language or the names or the, you know, history and stuff like that. That's what I'm asking about. But you know, they may be interested in like basketball or hip hop or you know, stuff like that. That's not consequential to anything, especially like politically. That doesn't pull at the strings of the heart, or that, you know what I'm saying. That's like how can you, like, one, I'm relating to you as in terms of like a plight of a people, because your country went through civil war where it used to be Yugoslavia and you had to split up into 6 countries, whereas you know, you asking me about, we talking about basketball or something. So I'm just like, man, that's how little you know, or how you look at us in terms of, we fought a whole civil war here. I mean, it wouldn't be a United States if it wasn't for the you know, the freedmen and the ancestors. It wouldn't be a United States because we fought in the Revolutionary War. I'm not saying we were that consequential in that war, but we damn sure were in the Civil War. We were in every other war after that. We were in terms of building the country, but we want to talk about, you know, basketball. So I think part of it, man, we just have to, it has to be, we have to keep pushing this message till this is what a lot of them know us for, instead of
right.
rapping and shooting hoops and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And whatever messages they put, negative messages they putting on the screen for them to see, and on social media. That's a lot of stuff that they seeing. You know, the rap culture, the street culture of, you know, flashy and all of that kind of stuff. They need to know us for why they're here. Period.
That's right. That's right. So before I get off here, because I forgot all about this, but I'm not going to go through it, I want to share this article with the family, because I meant to bring this up as a part of my talking points tonight, and I just kind of forgot about it. And that happens sometimes. Sometimes I pull up stuff, I never even get to it. And then I got to wait until we do another stream where we're talking about something similar, so I'll leave it up in my browser. But let me pull this up. Biden DOJ, and then shout out to this sister Ann Brown, that writes for Moguldom. If I'm not mistaken, she's the one that published our reparations rally. She keeps up with the reparationists all over the country, whether we rock with them or not. She keeps up with them. Hey, that ain't her fight. I'm just saying, you know, this sister keeps up with them. Biden DOJ declines to appeal court order blocking reparations for Black farmers. So the U.S. Department of Justice has opted not to file an appeal in federal court over an order blocking reparations for Black farmers and farmers of color. The reparations program was built into President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion coronavirus stimulus bill to counter generations of systemic racism against Black farmers. You see, the white supremacists in this country, they don't want to see us with anything. They want us to stay at the bottom, because so long as we are at the bottom, we are scavengers of sorts. And we are more prone to crime and criminality. My background looked a little crazy. I ain't even going to try to fix it now. We are more prone to crime and criminality. Then they arrest us. We go get unfair sentences. They give us excessive bails that we probably couldn't even pay if they reduced it in half. The Constitution says no excessive bails. They give us excessive bails anyway. Another thing that us freedmen have to challenge. Give us excessive bails anyway. Then we get sentenced and we go to a penitentiary and we go work jobs at these penitentiaries, making license plates and belts and fans. They have fisheries. I seen one prison that they do pet services and things of that nature. There's a lot of things that says made in the USA that are being produced by prisoners, by prison labor. It's that 13th Amendment loophole. Keep us on the hamster's wheel. This is why we fight for reparations. And it's angering to see Biden, DOJ not appeal the court's ruling that these farmers shouldn't get relief while people are taking up donations for Afghanis, refugees. I mean, are they really refugees? They have their own country. Refugees are in Louisiana right now. Let me show you what refugees look like real quick before we get off of here. Let me show y'all what refugees look like before we get off of here. This is what refugees look like, family. That's what refugees look like right there. It's down there in Louisiana, in New Orleans, our people. Now you got people talking about giving reparations to Afghanis. You got people doing everything within their power to push for a people that have a country already. They're being attacked by the terrorists over there. We're being attacked by the terrorists over here, the domestic terrorists that wear police uniforms, that fly Confederate flags on the backs of their F-150s, that don't like us, can't stand our existence, our sight. A report shows what we've already been reporting on since last year, that the largest percentage of hate crimes happens against our people, not no damn Asians or anybody else. More hate crimes are committed against us than most of those people combined. So, it's only one solution, family. That is, we can't just fight the power, right? Because fighting the power is what exactly? Making a rap record about fighting the power? Or talking about incessantly about the white man's government and we need to separate or die? You know, that cornball rhetoric that ain't never moved the needle for us at all. Or we can become the power. We can become the elected officials. We could get our people back down into these southern states and take over that state legislator, become the governor of that state, produce senators from that state or states. We can do that. That is how we stay alive in this country, by becoming the power. We need 2 or 3 freedmen senators with that be the power mindset, that freedmen first mindset, talking how we talk here and how our people that's in the chat talk. Our family. We need them in Senate seats, and we got to think and plan and push on this agenda every single day with no let up. I go to sleep thinking about it. I wake up thinking about it. I go through my day thinking about it. There's nothing more on my mind besides obviously my family, my children, etc. But everything else comes second to this political push that we are seeking to undertake. This is why we have been ordained to come into this space, the real. And we are the real. Don't forget, family, we are taking up donations. A lot of people sent in donations tonight. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, man. Because it we're going to show that we don't play. Like I said last night, I got a long track record in the conscious community. Never, ever of being no shiesty cat. You would never find that in my resume at all. And like I said last night, I got to say that because you got so many scammers and scam artists who come into these spaces just doing all type of things. I done seen some videos on some people and I'm like, what, yo, you know, like I was supporting that cat. Come to find out he was a scam artist the whole time. And I ain't talking about Polite. I've been on Polite head for years about the stuff he was doing. Period. Period. Again, cash app Be The Power. That's $ Be The Power. We're doing a donation drive and we can help a family or 2 families or 3 families. We would appreciate it. You could go to the website usadof.org and make a donation. It could be $5. If enough for us, give $5. That's okay. We've already received some large donations. I am appreciative. I'm going to read those names out on the air so that we can, you know, get this thing going. Cato says, tell your family in Dorchester to vote for me because they are in my district. Definitely, Cato. We need the bill. We need the bill. But definitely, my family. I mean, I don't really talk to my South Carolina family that much. The last time I talked to one of them was a couple months ago about what has dwindled down to an acre plus of land that's still owned by the family and them trying to do something with it, sell it or something. I want to keep it. So I don't know what's going on with that. I got on it like my mother. They've been squabbling over that land for years, and now it's only like an acre and some change of it left. And anyway, I don't know if heirs property it's been eaten up by heirs property or what, but I don't know. But I'm gonna talk to my people. But we're a bill. But family, let me leave y'all with the motto of the platform, which is don't just fight the power, become the power, and then and only then will you have the power to make a change. And with that, I say peace.